man, do you wanna come over here? I'm sure everyone wants to hear you. Ah! Hang on desu. Ah! Little man. Pew pew. Okay. I think... There we go. Oh god, ASMR. You don't have to listen, Arcadia. It's not my thing either, so... I mean, it's not gonna be like weird, like licking or anything, ASMR, nothing like that. I'm just gonna be reading, but, you're just messing. Okay. I mean, I genuinely can't stand some ASMR, so like, I would not be judging at all. I'm sorry I'm still starting soon. I'm trying to get everything set up. Little man. Little man, come here. Come on. I'll give you a snack. I want to have him over here with me. No licking? There's like a million people doing that on Twitch. There's no shortage of licking. Come here. Come on. Come here, little man. Come hang out with me. You're too far away. Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Come here. Woo! Come here. Well, why would I don't think my mic is even good enough for like licking sounds. Like it probably wouldn't even be like good quality licks. You know what I mean? So you're not really missing out. I don't think. Guess you can go hiccups. That's not really up to me. Come here, little man. We can start with bird sounds. Put the plastic wrap over the mic and lick boom so no saliva and shit on the mic. Pew pew! Come here. Ah! I'm sorry. Hi. I've got Velho. I'm trying to lure him over to the mic right now. Come here. Also, hello everyone. I'm gonna be more whispery once I start reading stuff, but I wanted to warm up and like actually chat with you guys for a little bit. Let's see. Oh yeah. Hi Judas. Hi Dasutri. Hello Grove. Hello Jolly Fool. Hello Kitty VTubers. Hello Arcadia. Hi Fox. Hi Archipelago. Uber. What makes a good quality lick? I guess it wants you want it to sound kind of juicy. I guess that's I assume. Like you don't want a dry tongue lick, which is probably what I'm gonna have. You don't want that. Come here, little man. The fruit is so close, you just have to take it. Hi, refreshing hot beer. I didn't finish saying hi to everyone. Hi, Borgars. Hi, Argent World. Juicy, yeah. How's it going? It's going good. I'm trying to get little man. No! No! You cheater! He stole the treat. And now he's running away with it. Fine. Where's my thingy? How are you guys doing today? Trying but not succeeding. He got it. He got the treat. He ripped it out of my hand ferociously. I was like playing tug of war with it. I have these like tiny little dried, like dehydrated papaya bits. Oh, he pooed. Bro. You're sick today? Oh no. I'm so sorry. Like, did you just... Have you been sick for a while? Or did you just like wake up sick? That's the worst feeling in the world, when you wake up and you've been up for like 15 minutes and you're like, oh man, no, it's not working out. It's no good. Drawing now instead of studying? I mean, if that's what's more relaxing to you. For me, drawing takes less brain power than studying for sure. As long as you're taking it easy. You're good today? That's good, Jolly. I'm glad to hear it. I wanted to show you guys something before I started reading. I still haven't seen Flurd here yet. I need to tell him something important too, but he might be busy right now. In fact, I think he is. I had a cough for like a week, and yesterday I decided it was gonna be a massive head cold. So it was like really revving up for it all that time. I'm so sorry. I hope you're staying hydrated and resting lots, and I hope it gets better soon. Pew pew pew! Alright, I owe you a treat. Where's my treat box? Where did it go? Oh! Desu, can you make a poll for me? I promise this is important. I wanted to ask everyone, when you open a straw, do you open it by peeling off the wrapper? Or do you like ram it like bottom first into the counter to like bust it out? I'm not gonna tell you which one I do until I know what you guys do. So yeah. Come here, little man. Hi, Turkey. Yeah, you guys get it. You peel it? You would peel it, Arcadia. You seem like you would be gentle to the straw. I don't know why. You seem like the type of person who'd be pretty meticulous. Poll is up. Let me see. Can I vote myself and like skew the results? I think I can. No one will know it's my vote though. You tear off the bottom and blow it off. What the fuck? That's chaotic. I've done both. Yeah, I've peeled it a few times. Like, I'm not gonna act like I haven't done that before or anything. All about meticulous, I rig life 2D. That's not a bad thing. That's not at all a bad thing. There's no right answer. I don't think. I believe both are totally valid. Come here, little man. He's talking so much and you guys probably can't even hear. Come here, little man. He won't even take the fruit. I know you want the fruit. Valid does not mean equal though. What do you do, Uber? One is clearly better than the other. One definitely feels better, in my opinion. I've tried doing the thing where you peel off the bottom and blow the wrapper off, but like it doesn't work when I do. I don't know why. Maybe I don't have the breath power. The lung capacity. I've heard it's hard for peelers to keep their straw tip clean. Why? Why would it get dirty easier? What do you mean? Hi, Baroric! We hear music to our ears. You can hear him? Have you ever slammed it and bent the straw in the wrapper? Oh! That gave me the creepy crawlies just thinking about it. It's so upsetting. Like you've permanently damaged the straw and you failed your one job. Like, it's the worst. That's the risk, but is it worth it? I mean, if you know what you're doing, that shouldn't happen too often. It's pretty rare, I think. Ooh, the poll's almost over. Don't forget to vote. I need to know. So far, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing. I feel validated. To keep it clean, you just peel a little strip around the top of... Yeah! Okay, yeah, that's what I usually do if I peel it. I mostly don't peel it. But like, if I do, that's exactly the way to do it. Cause you can just like, you don't even come in contact with the top of the straw, so there's nothing to worry about. Having hard time. No, I understood what you're saying. 33% peeling. I'm surprised. How to blow better straws. Yeah, that's what I need. You're right. Little man, here you go. Just take the fruit. You've worn me down. Can I slide you over though? Can I like just slide you? Oh, it's working! It's working! Little man! Let me open. Before I start getting all whispery and stuff, I just wanted to watch one video on YouTube with you guys because it just appeared and recommended, and like it looks really cute, and yeah. Hibachi or Mexican, whichever is delivery. Neither. I say Mexican. I feel like today's a great day for an enchilada. Or a burrito, honestly, whatever. Enchilada is just what came to mind first. How the fuck do I slurp some air? Yes. So I'm just gonna like blow this up a little bit. Can you guess which video it is I wanted to watch? It's probably not that hard to figure out. Little man, my god. What are you saying? Can you come here? Come here. Yeah. Haven't had much hibachi, but most of it is pretty meh. You want to go to the places where they cook it in front of you. Anytime I've had anything less than that, it's just been really plain and sucky. I don't know why. But usually, if they make it in front of you, it's always been pretty good. It's very suspicious, really. Hibachi's overpriced? I wouldn't know. I haven't had it in years. Alright, let's check this dude out. I don't know what a salt cat is, but I need to know. What the fuck? I didn't watch this. Why is it like halfway through? Did I watch this? If I did, it would have been like, I don't even know what it would have been. His ears are so small. The what? Jeffrey's cat? I thought it was a salt cat. I'm gonna pause the music for a sec. Shrub. I live in a shrub, you guys. My hibachi place is amazing, but so is the Mexican place. Do the Mexican! I already told you. Get an enchilada. Or a big ass burrito. Inko watches salt cat videos first. I do not! Not that I remember. Oh, yeah. Pew pew. It is that one just belongs to Jeffrey. What the fuck? What is this? Who drew this? Can I zoom in? How do I zoom into a fucking YouTube video? Do you see this shit? Wait, I want to make it like gigantic on the screen. What the fuck? PS2 cat. Oh, like I don't even. I feel bad for it. Poor guy. Leafy. Oh yeah. I'm so full. Don't want to think about food. What did you eat? Oh! Elevated melanin? He's a shadow. Baconators? Oh. I have quesadilla for dinner tonight. Today is good Mexican food day. God damn it, I'm gonna have to get Mexican food now. Oh my god! Oh, Winter's missing out. Look how puffy his tail is! It's like a feather duster. What if you put a slice of quesadilla on a baconator, bro? Bro. That'd be sick. Oh. That's a beautiful river. I want to go tubing. Dude. Do you think there's YouTube videos of like first person like POV you're tubing down a river? There's gotta be, right? It's already perfect. The Baconator? Wait, I thought Baconator was Burger King. Is it Wendy's? Salt cat. Pew pew pew. Hot. Here you go, little man. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. It's Wendy's? Ah. I haven't been to Wendy's in a long time. That's cute. Oh my god! The baby! It's time to hunt. I'm so focused, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought she meant like the cat smelled like a frog. What does a frog smell like? Pew pew. Oh yeah, you're probably right. Is that better? Sorry about that. Ooh, that just looks like a regular ass cat. Wait, no, he's pretty big. He's not that much bigger than normal though. Huh? The volume was through the... Is this better? Why didn't anyone say anything if you couldn't hear it, man? My computer just crashed. Oh, did you save? Oh, you see you lost. Shit. Shit, dude. I'm sorry. Desu, can you hear it now or no? Jeffrey's cats. Why didn't anyone say anything? What the fuck? Why? Hold on. hold on, hold on. Maybe. Little man, why are you laughing at me? El gato.
'Cause best kept secret.
Huh? Jimbo, thank you so much for the 2 gift subs to Mr. Tochidaki and Goblin Paladin Roselli. That is such a mouthful of username. Holy cow. Thank you and welcome.
What should we talk about next? Please let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe
That
for
was
new
the
episodes of
Whisperies
Animal
ASMR.
Logic.
Can you
every
hear it
week.
now?
Thanks for watching.
I thought I might have fixed it. Please tell me you can hear it. It doesn't actually matter that much, but like it kind of
Vision
does.
and a killer sense of smell. A frog
Can you
is
hear her
no
talking
match
about
for
the
a salt
frog?
cat.
The frog synth?
Or so she thought.
Fixed it? Okay, good. Okay.
Within striking range, she
Meow.
pounces.
Alright.
But she loses it in the grass.
Little man is making some
in this case,
weird,
the small cat
weird
is the
noises.
Goliath, and she'll have to look elsewhere to feed her kitten. But the night wasn't a loss for everyone. This
Didn't say
melanistic
anything
salt
'cause I
cat
couldn't read.
swaggers home in the morning with a mouthful of mouse.
Okay.
Those salt cats are vulnerable in some parts.
To tell you the truth, I know I need to start. I was gonna start reading, but I also really want to look up a certain video. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get started. Hang on. Put the music back. I had the wrong source up in OBS, that's why. Pew pew. I will have little man with me, so I might pew pew occasionally. But other than that, let's get this out of here. Wait, actually. Whoa. Alright. I'll have this right here. Pew pew pew. Alright. It's time to pretend we're in a library now. Thought you just said poo poo occasionally? No. Don't mind watching videos with Inko. Maybe I'll watch it after. But it'd also be really, really random. The video I'm thinking of. Do not buy me, Velho, please. Please, please, please. Alright. Today is educational. Literally. Alright. Cannabis, also known as marijuana, among other names, is a psychoactive drug from the cannabis plant. Native to Central and South Asia, the cannabis plant has been used as a drug for both recreational and entheogenic purposes, and in various traditional medicines for centuries. Also, if the music is too loud, just let me know. Hi, Teddy! It is happy 420. Also getting bitches. Wait, just in general? Who, you or me? Alright, here's a big boy word. Tetrahydrocannabinol. Tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, is the main psychoactive component of cannabis, which is one of the 483 known compounds in the plant, including at least 65 other cannabinoids, including cannabidiol, CBD. Cannabis can be used by smoking, vaporizing, within food, they phrase that really weird, or as an extract. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll celebrate for you. Alright, cannabis has various mental and physical effects, which include euphoria, altered states of mind, and sense of time, difficulty concentrating, impaired short-term memory, impaired body movement, balance and fine motor control, relaxation, and increase in appetite. Onset of effects is felt within minutes when smoked, but may take up to 90 minutes when eaten. Often have argument about legalizing it. Who? With whomst? Let's see. Oh yeah, a lot of people's first experience with weed is with edibles. But I always say that's not great because edibles hit you a lot different than like actually smoking weed. So a lot of people have really negative first experiences with it because of that. So like they I mean, it doesn't hit you until like an hour or so later, sometimes longer, and then it just hits you like a fucking sack of potatoes. And then people think they're like dying or like they're losing their mind because it's just too much all at once. So I recommend, if you haven't tried it, just to try like maybe a joint or a pipe. But like anything up from that, like a bong even, can be really intense. But the biggest mistake is like people have too much too fast, and then they have a really bad time, and then they're too scared to do it again. Like a bigger ballpoint. Never smoked it. I tend to like the smell. That's how I feel about cigarettes. I like the smell though. Yeah, ASMR. I'm trying. I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I never know if I'm being too whispery or like not whispery enough. If that makes sense. And my mic's not the best mic for it, but I wanted to do something different today. Also, I've actually found that I really only enjoy ASMR if I am high. Like I hate it otherwise. I guess I just have to put myself in a certain state of mind. Maybe turn off sound alerts. Oh my god, Desu, could you take care of that for me, please? I know you have dashboard open. Coffin, no. The timing. Jesus Christ. I can't do it easily where I'm at right now. Why? Why are you doing this? I'm trying to have a peaceful time.
Dex!
What the fuck? Desu, stop! I asked you to stop! Why? Why are you doing this? Please, please don't. Please don't. Please. Please just disable them. I know you're able to. Please. It's not easy to switch between my sources at the moment. Peaceful dicks. That's what this stream is about, man. Peaceful dicks. No angry dicks here. Hi, Coffin. Ignore everything I just said in the past 5 minutes. We gotta test if they're off. You really don't, though. You could always just not. Where was I even at? Alright. The effects last for 2 to 6 hours, depending on the amount used. At high doses, mental effects can include anxiety, delusions, including ideas of reference. Let me look at that. Refreshing hot beer, thank you so much for the gifts of the coffin crawling. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Let me see what ideas of reference and delusions of reference. describe the phenomenon of individual experiencing innocuous events or mere coincidences and believing they have strong personal significance. It is the notion that everything one perceives in the world relates to one's own destiny. What? I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Lower the volume for notifications? I have no way to do that without also lowering the volume of I just have it in the same source. Is there an easy way I can do that in Streamlabs? It sounds like a stoner had wrote it. I mean, it's kind. The whole thing is like it's like the actual like an effect of marijuana. So I mean, it's gonna sound like yeah. Ideas of reference and delusions of reference describe the phenomenon. I already read this. In psychiatry, delusions of reference form part of the diagnostic or criteria for psychotic illnesses such as schizophrenia, delusional disorder. I don't really understand. I'm gonna go back. If we legalize it, we would have a lot of janitors. What the fuck? Group, I respect you and I respect your opinion, but that's not really the talk for this kind of stream. Like, I'm kind of trying to celebrate weed, not shit on it. So most people don't operate heavy machine. That is absolutely true, Archipelago. You need to have a lot of qualifications to do so anyways. I don't think it's very open-minded, or I don't think it makes, I don't know, to say that like we'd have a lot of janitors. Are you saying that that's all people can do when they're high? Cause for someone who hasn't smoked it, you can't really talk about the effects of it. I'm sorry, it just doesn't really work like that. You can't talk about something that you haven't experienced in that sort of way. Anyways. There is a strong relation between cannabis use and risk of psychosis, although the direction of causality is debated. Physical effects include increased heart rate, difficulty breathing, nausea, and behavioral problems in children whose mothers used cannabis during pregnancy. That last part is pretty important. Short-term side effects also may include dry mouth and red eyes. Long-term adverse effects may include addiction, decreased mental ability, and those who started regular use as adolescents, chronic coughing, susceptibility to respiratory infections, and cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. What is hyperemesis syndrome? Recurrent nausea, vomiting. What the fuck? Getting to the fun part. Never met shipyard workers, have you? I swear they're all high. There are certain jobs that are... This is gonna sound really stupid, but there are certain jobs that are really hard to not do high. If you have the means to do so, like... Honestly, this is really bad, but... Working fast food is something... You need a lot of fucking patience to deal with how some people treat you. And, some people don't just naturally have that patience. Because you need more than usual just interacting with a normal person. People who come to your drive-thru are not normal. You should know that. Hyperemesis. It was hyperemesis, not hyperemesis. Alright. Cannabis is mostly used recreationally or as a medicinal drug, although it may also be used for spiritual purposes. In 2013, between 128 and 232 million people used cannabis. It is the most commonly used illegal drug in the world, though it is legal in some jurisdictions, with the highest use among adults as of 2018, and Zambia, the United States, Canada, and Nigeria. While cannabis plants have been grown since at least the 3rd millennium BCE, evidence suggests that it was being smoked for psychoactive effects at least 2,500 years ago in the Pamir Mountains. Since the early 20th century, cannabis has been subject to legal restrictions. The possession, use, and cultivation of cannabis is illegal in most countries. In 2013, Uruguay became the first country to legalize recreational use of cannabis. Other countries to do so are Canada, Georgia, Malta, Mexico, and South Africa, plus 18 states, 2 territories, and the District of Columbia in the United States, though the drug remains federally illegal. I didn't know it was legal in Georgia. That's cool. Thank you for the hydrate, cutie VTubers. Dave's not here, man. Dave? Alright. I want to talk about the different, Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. Sorry. I want to read about Sativa, Indica, and Ruderalis, but I want to go through this page just a little bit before I do. Georgia, the country. I'm pretty sure it's illegal in the state. Medical cannabis, or medical marijuana, refers to the use of cannabis to treat disease or improve symptoms. However, there is no single agreed-upon definition. Cannabinoids derived from cannabis and synthetic cannabinoids are also used. The rigorous scientific study of cannabis as a medicine has been hampered by production restrictions and by the fact that it is classified as an illegal drug by many governments. Georgia is Coke country. What? I'm sad that I even said that out loud. Federally suggested? Coca-Cola. Okay. There is limited evidence, suggesting cannabis can be used to reduce nausea and vomiting during chemotherapy, to improve appetite in people with HIV or AIDS, or to treat chronic pain and muscle spasms. Its use for other medical applications is insufficient for drawing conclusions about safety or efficacy. There is evidence supporting the use of cannabis or its derivatives in the treatment of chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting, neuropathic pain, and multiple sclerosis. Lower levels of evidence support its use for AIDS wasting syndrome, epilepsy, rheumatoid arthritis, and glaucoma. Isn't it legal 1 day a year in India because of religion? Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. Remember driving through deep country Georgia a lot. See, really? Wait, signs about it? What would the signs say? Recreational. Being under the effects of cannabis is usually referred to as being high or stoned. Cannabis consumption has both psychoactive and physiological effects. The stoned experience can vary widely, based among other things on the user's prior experience with cannabis and the type of cannabis consumed. This is important. When smoking cannabis, a euphoriant effect can occur within minutes of smoking. Aside from a subjective change in perception and mood, the most common short-term physical and neurological effects include increased heart rate, increased appetite, impairment of short-term and working memory, and psychomotor coordination. Additional desired effects from consuming cannabis include relaxation, a general alteration of conscious perception, increased awareness of sensation, increased libido, and distortions in the perception of time and space. At higher doses, effects can include altered body image, auditory and/or visual illusions, pseudo-hallucinations, and ataxia from selective impairment of polysynaptic reflexes. What is ataxia? Neurological sign consisting of lack of voluntary... Oh, okay. Time, space, and libidos. Sounds epic. Do audiobooks? How would I get into that? Don't you... I actually don't know how that works. Can you just read any audiobooks? Don't you have to have permission or something? I'd love to do more reading streams. Let's see, where did I leave off? Psychomotor coordination? Wait, no. Okay. In some cases, cannabis can lead to dissociative states, such as depersonalization and derealization. Spiritual. Cannabis has held sacred status in several legends and has served as an entheogen, a chemical substance used in religious, shamanic, or spiritual contexts. In the Indian subcontinent since the Vedic period, the earliest known reports regarding the sacred status of cannabis in the Indian subcontinent come from the Atharva Veda, and estimated to have been composed sometime around 1400 BCE. The Hindu god Shiva is described as a cannabis user, known as Lord of Bong? Do you pronounce it like bong? If so, that's incredible. In modern culture, the spiritual use of cannabis has been spread by the disciples of the Rastafari movement, who use cannabis as a sacrament and as aid to meditation. Listen to reading the dictionary. Really? I'll try to do more reading then. I really enjoy it. Ayahuasca would be this time space. And where the fuck am I drunk? I would like to try ayahuasca one day, genuinely. The same with peyote. Peyote is pretty difficult to get a hold of though, isn't it? Isn't it like a protected plant? The Hindu Holy Festival. Oh, I don't know anything about it. I'll have to look into it. Modes of cannabis consumption. Here's the fun part. Smoking. Smoking is what I recommend for people who have never tried cannabis. It's probably the most tame way you can experience it, I would say. Tea, edibles, anything that you consume is gonna hit you a lot harder than just smoking it. Same with vape, even. Vape can hit a lot harder. Alright, smoking, which typically involves burning and inhaling cannabinoids, smoke from small pipes, bongs, portable versions of hookahs with a water chamber, paper-wrapped joints, or tobacco leaf-wrapped blunts, and other items. Vaporizer, which heats any form of cannabis to 165 to 190 degrees Celsius, causing the active ingredients to evaporate in the vapor, without burning the plant material at atmospheric pressure. Color run? Is it? I actually don't know anything about that either. It seems fun though. Cannabis tea, which contains relatively small concentrations of THC, because the THC is an oil and is only slightly water soluble. Cannabis tea is made by first adding a saturated fat to hot water for like cream or any milk except skim with a small amount of cannabis. Edibles or cannabis is added as an ingredient to one of a variety of foods, including butter and baked goods. Edibles are awesome. You have to be prepared for them. They can be very intense, so you gotta be careful with them. Teddy, I actually named that emote because the prefix for it is Inko, so I just made the name of it Inji, so it spells out Inko Bong. Color dust fights in the weed. That sounds delightful. Edibles where cannabis is added to an ingredient to one of a variety of foods, including butter and baked goods. In India, it is commonly made into a beverage, bong. Capsules typically containing cannabis oil and other dietary supplement products, for which some 220 were approved in Canada in 2018. Should I read? Let's see. There's so much to this page. Oh, this is more interesting. This is what I was looking for. Hi, Third. Third, I have something very important to tell you. It's super, super important. I know what you should name your bird. It doesn't matter if you've already thought of a name. You have to name him Jarvis. You have to name him Jarvis. The person who has your username on Twitter is Jarvis, so you have to steal his name and name your bird after him. It'd be such a sick bird name, dude. You already named him? No, I'm too late. I thought it was perfect. Yes, that's you, thank you. Alright. I'll start here and then I'll go on to the history. The history is gonna be the exciting part. He's currently eating my hair. Hello, birdie! Hello, baby! I've got Velho with me too. Cyrus? I almost said Cirrus because it's got two R's, like the cloud. I was confused. Or is it Cirrus? Is it Cirrus or Cyrus? Probably Cyrus. Anyways, marijuana herbal cannabis consists of the dry flowers and fruits, subtending leaves and stems of the female cannabis plant. This is the most widely consumed form, containing 3% to 20% THC, with reports of up to 33% THC. That's crazy. This is the stock material from which all other preparations are derived. Although herbal cannabis and industrial hemp derive from the same species and contain the psychoactive component, THC, they are distinct strains with unique biochemical compositions and uses. Hemp has lower concentrations of THC and higher concentrations of CBD, which gives lesser psychoactive effects. I believe hemp is also usually the male plant. I think it's usually made from the male plant. I didn't realize I was thirsty as fuck. He's a madman that looked at this plant and thought, should light it in flames and inhale the smoke orally. Honestly, it was probably a guy who had already done the same thing with like 37 other plants. And was like, one of these is bound to do something. Maybe someone tripped and fell into a plant with their torch. They accidentally hotboxed themselves. Actually, that probably would be it. I bet that's what happened. No less a madman than the guy who first drank cow's milk. Yeah. Maybe it was a mad woman. Jolly could be right. Keef. Keef is a powder rich in trichromes, which can be sifted from the leaves, flowers, and fruits of cannabis plants, and either consumed in powder form or compressed to produce cakes of hashish. The word keef comes from colloquial Arabic kif, which means pleasure. Hashish. Hashish, or simply hash, is a concentrated resin cake or ball produced from pressed keef, the detached trichromes and fine material that falls off cannabis fruits, flowers, and leaves, or from scraping the resin from the surface of plants and rolling it into balls. That's the good shit. It varies in color from black to golden brown, depending on purity and variety of cultivar it was obtained from. It can be consumed orally or smoked, and is also vaporized or vaped. The term rosin hash refers to a high-quality, solventless product obtained through heat and pressure. Guess what I just did? What did you do? Did you take a fat, juicy bong rip or something? Tincture. Cannabinoids can be extracted from cannabis plant matter using high-proof spirits, often grain alcohol, to create a tincture, often referred to as green dragon. Nabiximols is a branded product named from a tincture manufacturing pharmaceutical company. Hash oil. Hash oil is a resinous matrix of cannabinoids obtained from the cannabis plant by solvent extraction, formed into a hardened or viscous mask. Or mass, not mask. Hash oil can be the most potent of the main cannabis products because of its high level of psychoactive compound per its volume, which can vary depending on the plant's mix of essential oils and psychoactive compounds. Giant bong hit, my beloved Pegasus bong. That sounds so cool. I wanna see it. I miss my bong. It was just the most basic glass one, but it was like really tall and really thick glass, so it was sturdy as fuck. IV drip. That sounds intense, dude. Let's see. I already read that. Did I already read that? I did. Oh, butane and supercritical carbon dioxide hash oil have become popular in the recent years. Anything can be a suppository. That probably exists, honestly. I would honestly be surprised if it didn't. Even the record. No. Thank you for the hydrate third. Let's see. Infusions. There are many varieties of cannabis infusions owing to the variety of non-volatile solvents used. The plant material is mixed with the solvent and then pressed and filtered to express the oils of the plant into the solvent. Examples of solvents used in this process are cocoa butter, dairy butter, cooking oil, glycerin, and skin moisturizers. Depending on the solvent, these may just be used in cannabis foods or applied topically. Oh, I keep using the wrong mouse. Growing up, I had 2 friends from Pakistan that lived there. Dad would get the most amazing hashies. Holy shit. Damn, you had the hookup, dude. I don't think you can effectively proof marijuana. I don't think it would be worth it. I can't imagine it would be worth it. But I'm positive there are probably people out there who've tried it and would insist it's the best thing. Marijuana prensada, pressed marijuana, is a cannabis-derived product widespread among the lower classes of South America, especially from the 90s. Locally, it is known as Paraguayo or Paragua, since its main producer is Paraguay. Marijuana is dried and mixed with binding agents that make it toxic and highly harmful to health. It is cut into the shape of bricks and sold for a low price in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Peru, Venezuela, and even the United States. Don't blow smoke up my ass. Alright, history. Like petting buds and no. Shh. Calm down. Cannabis is indigenous to Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent, and its uses for fabric and rope date back to the Neolithic age in China and Japan. It is unclear when cannabis first became known for its psychoactive properties. The oldest archaeological evidence for the burning of cannabis was found in Romanian kurgans dated 3500 BC, and scholars suggest that the drug was first used in ritual ceremonies by Proto-Indo-European tribes living in the Pontic-Caspian steppe during the Chalcolithic period, a custom they eventually spread throughout Western Eurasia during the Indo-European migrations. Some research suggests that the ancient Indo-Iranian drug soma, mentioned in the Vedas, sometimes contained cannabis. This is based on the discovery of a basin containing cannabis in a shrine of the 2nd millennium BC in Turkmenistan. The ASMR is relaxing. The context. What do you mean the context? What context? I will not, Jumbo. I'm reading something already. Don't you want to learn about history? Cannabis was known to the ancient Assyrians, who discovered its psychoactive properties through the Iranians. Using it in some religious ceremonies, they called it kanubu, meaning way to produce smoke, a probable origin of the modern word cannabis. The Iranians also introduced cannabis to the Scythians, Thracians, and Dacians as shamans. The Kapnobatai, I don't know if I said that right, those who walk on smoke/clouds, burned cannabis in fructances? What is this word? In fructances, I don't know what that says, to induce trance. The plant was used in China before 2800 BC and found therapeutic use in India by 1000 BC, where it was used in food and drink, including bong. Bong, okay. Cannabis has an ancient history of ritual use and has been used by religions around the world. The earliest evidence of cannabis smoking has been found in the 2,500-year-old tombs of Jirzongkal Cemetery in the Pamir Mountains in western China, where cannabis residue were found in burners with charred pebbles, possibly used during funeral rituals. Oh, in that case, why don't I just read the wiki page on parakeets? They both have para. Is that like fructose? You know what? I'm gonna Google it because I'm really curious now. Hang on. I've never seen that word before in my life, and I've seen a lot of words. An aggregate fruit. Aggregate fruit? Wait. What is an aggregate fruit? What does that mean? Do you know what that means? Derived from the ovaries of an inflorescence? Aggregate fruit. Not videos. Oh, like drippy droppy fruits? Pineapples? Grapes? I see. I think I get it. Timote. 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 Is it? I don't think it's fructose. I think it's just a special. I think it's a formation of fruit. Let's see. Have I already read that? Oh, hemp seeds discovered by archaeologists at Pazorik suggest early ceremonial practices like eating the Scythians, not eating them. I'm sorry. Occurred during the 5th to 2nd century BC, confirming previous historical reports by Herodotus. It was used by Muslims and various Sufi orders as early as the Mamluk period, for example by the calendars. Smoking pipes uncovered in Ethiopia and carbon dated to around AD 1320 were found to have traces of cannabis. Modern history. Cannabis was introduced to the New World by the Spaniards in 1530 to 45. Following an 1836 to 1840 travel in North Africa and the Middle East, French physician Jacques-Joseph Moreau wrote on the psychological effects of cannabis use. He was a member of Paris Club de Hachishins in 1842. Irish physician William Brooke O'Shaughnessy. Hi Breather, thank you so much for the follow, welcome. I need to see if I can turn the notification down, that was very loud. Hang on. Desu, could you pull that up in Streamlabs and maybe mute the notifications for now? I'll still see them if they come up. Just could you mute them for me? And yes, welcome. I hope you're having a nice time. Happy 420. Let's see. Had studied the drug while working as a medical officer in Bengal with the East India Company. Brought a quantity of cannabis with him on his return to Britain, provoking renewed interest in the West. Examples of classic literature of the period featuring cannabis include Le Paradis I have no idea how to say that, I'm sorry, by Charles Baudelaire, and The Hashish Eater by Fitzhugh Ludlow. Beautiful, excellent, thank you, Teddy. Cannabis was criminalized in various countries beginning in the 19th century. The colonial government of Mauritius, I don't know how to say that either, I'm sorry, banned cannabis in 1840 over concerns on its effect on Indian indentured workers. The same occurred in Singapore in 1870. Thank you, Desu. The first restrictions on sale of cannabis came in 1906 in the District of Columbia. Canada criminalized cannabis in the Opium and Narcotic Drug Act 1923, before any reports of the use of the drug in Canada, but eventually legalized its consumption for recreational and medicinal purposes in 2018. Those darn Canadians. Let's see. In 1925, a compromise was made at an international conference in The Hague about International Opium Convention that banned exportation of Indian hemp to countries that had prohibited its use and requiring importing countries to issue certificates approving the importation and stating that the shipment was required exclusively for medical or scientific purposes. It also required parties to exercise an effective control of such a nature as to prevent the illicit international traffic in Indian hemp, and especially in the resin. In the United States, in 1937, the Marijuana Tax Act was passed and prohibited the production of hemp in addition to cannabis. In 1972, the Dutch government divided drugs into more and less dangerous categories, with cannabis being in the lesser category. Accordingly, possession of 30 grams, 1.1 ounce, or less was made a misdemeanor. Cannabis has been available for recreational use in coffee shops since 1976. Cannabis products are only sold openly in certain local coffee shops, and possession of up to 5 grams or 0.18 ounce for personal use is decriminalized. However, the police may still confiscate it, which often happens in car checks near the border. Other types of sales and transportation are not permitted, although the general approach towards cannabis was lenient even before official decriminalization. In Uruguay, resident Jose Mujica signed legislation to legalize recreational cannabis in December 2013, making Uruguay the first country in the modern era to legalize cannabis. In August 2014, Uruguay legalized growing up to 6 plants at home, as well as the formation of growing clubs and a state-controlled marijuana dispensary regime. As of 17th October 2018, when recreational use of cannabis was legalized in Canada, dietary supplements for human use and veterinary health products containing not more than 10 parts per million of THC extract were approved for marketing. Nabiximols, as Sativex, is used as a prescription drug in Canada. The United Nations World Drug Report stated that cannabis was the world's most widely produced, trafficked, and consumed drug in the world in 2010, and estimated between 128 million and 238 million users globally in 2015. Dazzle Dolphin, hi, how are you? Welcome. Today's stream's a little different. I am attempting to ASMR, yeah. I don't really know if I'm doing it right, but I'm trying. Welcome. Society and culture. Cannabis has been one of the most used psychoactive drugs in the world since the late 20th century, following only tobacco and alcohol in popularity. According to Vera Rubin, the use of cannabis has been encompassed by two major cultural complexes over time: a continuous traditional folk stream and a more circumscribed contemporary configuration. The former involves both sacred and secular use, and is usually based on small-scale cultivation, the use of the plant for cordage, clothing, medicine, food, and a general use as a euphoriant and symbol of fellowship. The second stream of expansion of cannabis use encompasses the use of hemp for commercial manufacturers, utilizing large-scale cultivation, primarily as a fiber for mercantile purposes, but is also linked to the search for psychedelic experiences, which can be traced back to the formation of the Parisian club, the Hashishins. Legal status. Since the beginning of the 20th century, most countries have enacted laws against the cultivation, possession, or transfer of cannabis. These laws have had an adverse effect on cannabis cultivation for non-recreational purposes, but there are many regions where handling of cannabis is legal or licensed. Many jurisdictions have lessened the penalties for possession of small quantities of cannabis, so that it is punished by confiscation and sometimes a fine rather than imprisonment, focusing more on those who traffic the drug on the black market. Sorry, need some water. In some areas where cannabis use had been historically tolerated, new restrictions were instituted, such as the closing of cannabis coffee shops near the borders of the Netherlands and closing of coffee shops near secondary schools in the Netherlands. In Copenhagen, Denmark in 2014, Mayor Frank Jensen discussed possibilities for the city to legalize cannabis production and commerce. Some jurisdictions use free voluntary treatment programs and or mandatory treatment programs for frequent known users. Simple possession can carry long prison terms in some countries, particularly in East Asia, where the sale of cannabis may lead to a sentence of life in prison or even execution. Political parties, non-profit organizations, and causes based on the legalization of medical cannabis and or legalization of the plant entirely, with some restrictions, have emerged in such countries as China and Thailand. In December 2012, the US state of Washington became the first state to officially legalize cannabis in a state law, Washington Initiative 502, but still illegal by federal law, with the state of Colorado following close behind. On the 1st of January 2013, the first marijuana club for private marijuana smoking, no buying or selling, however, was allowed for the first time in Colorado. The California Supreme Court decided in May 2013 that the local governments can ban medical marijuana dispensaries despite a state law in California that permits the use of cannabis for medical purposes. At least 180 cities across California have enacted bans in recent years. Yeah, go Washington. I miss it so much. In December 2013, Uruguay became the first country to legalize growing, sale, and use of cannabis. After a long delay in implementing the retail component of the law, in 2017, 16 pharmacies were authorized to sell cannabis commercially. On June 19, 2018, the Canadian Senate passed the bill, and the Prime Minister announced the effective legalization date as October 17, 2018. Canada is the second country to legalize the drug. In November 2015, Uttarakhand became the first state of India to legalize the cultivation of hemp for industrial purposes. Usage within the Hindu of Buddhist and Buddhist cultures of the Indian subcontinent is common, with many street vendors in India openly selling products infused with cannabis, and traditional medical practitioners in Sri Lanka selling products infused with cannabis for recreational purposes as well for religious celebrations. Would you like me to make this? Oh, I didn't even realize I wanted it in full screen. My bad. Let's see. Konta07, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Happy 420. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Indian laws criminalizing cannabis date back to the colonial period. India and Sri Lanka have allowed cannabis to be taken in the context of traditional culture for recreational, celebratory purposes, and also for medicinal purposes. On October 17th, 2015, Australian Health Minister Selson Lay presented a new law that will allow the cultivation of cannabis for scientific research and medical trials on patients. On October 17th, 2018, Canada legalized cannabis for recreational adult use, making it the second country in the world to do so, after Uruguay and the first G7 nation. The Canadian licensed producer system aims to become the gold standard in the world for safe and secure cannabis production, including provisions for a robust craft cannabis industry, where many expect opportunities for experimenting with different strains. Medical marijuana was legalized in Mexico in mid-2017. Legislators plan to legalize its recreational use by late 2019. On June 28, 2021, Clarence Thomas, one of the U.S. Supreme Court's most conservative justices, possibly opened the door to federal legalization of cannabis in the United States when he wrote, "A prohibition on interstate use or cultivation of marijuana may no longer be necessary or proper to support the federal government's piecemeal approach." Hello, Nightmare Lotus. Welcome in. Happy 420. Let's see. Let's see. Not all of this is entirely interesting. I guess I'll do the legality by country and then move on to cannabis as a gateway drug. Alright. Currently, Uruguay and Canada are the only countries that have fully legalized the cultivation, consumption, and bartering of recreational cannabis nationwide. Come to have some ASMR from the amazing. Thank you. I feel very out of my element, but I hope you can enjoy. That's true. Don't smoke too much and get yourself all paranoid. And remember to stay hydrated. Experience reports. Ooh, I don't know if I want to do that. Testu. Those might be scary. Either scary or like there's too much risk involved. I don't know what kind of stuff I'll be reading. Hi, Nappy Nap Time. I'm attempting to do ASMR. So I've just been reading about weed. It's kind of educational, kind of relaxing. What if I screened it first? That could be okay, Desu. in the United States, 18 states, 2 territories, and the District of Columbia have legalized the recreational use of cannabis, though the drug remains illegal at the federal level. Hang on one sec. I have a Capri Sun. Let's see. Laws vary from state to state when it comes to the commercial sale. Court rulings in Georgia and South Africa have led to the legalization of cannabis consumption, but not legal sales. A policy of limited enforcement has also been adopted in many countries, in particular Spain and the Netherlands, where the sale of cannabis is tolerated at licensed establishments. Contrary to popular belief, cannabis is not legal in the Netherlands, but it has been decriminalized since the 1970s. In 2021, Malta was the first European Union member to legalize the use of cannabis for recreational purposes. Lebanon has recently become the first Arab country to legalize the plantation of cannabis for medical use. What's what? Oh, I should say, if you like this and are feeling wildly generous, I have a throne and I have like a legitimate ASMR mic on that. I hope to get it one day and do like actual ASMR recordings for YouTube that will probably be better than this because, well, it'll be better quality and I can actually plan it out. And what was I gonna say? I have like actual ideas for videos for that sort of stuff. I just figured I should mention it. Also, would you like me to make this smaller? I can just get rid of it so you don't see it, if that's better. Is that more relaxing? I feel like you need the context though. I'll just make it really small. Let's see. What about like that? I don't know what's better. Anyways. That's a long list. Are you talking about my throne? I mean, it is a wish list. No one has to get anything. I just figured I'd mention it since I have an ASMR mic on it. It's like, I just add stuff whenever I find them, so... actually the radio is something I've wanted for like years, but I kind of just remembered it the other day. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there. Pardon me. Let's see. Penalties for illegal recreational use ranges from confiscation or small fines to jail time and even death. In some countries, citizens can be punished if they have used the drug in another country, including Singapore and South Korea. Dude, imagine being killed because you smoked weed. Fucking downer ending. Let's see. This sounds kinda boring. Cannabis as a gateway drug. I feel like this looks really silly, like giant like this. I don't know. It's fine. The gateway hypothesis states that cannabis use increases the probability of trying harder drugs. The hypothesis has been hotly debated as it is regarded by some as the primary rationale for the United States prohibition on cannabis use. A Pew Research Center poll found that political opposition to marijuana use was significantly associated with concerns about the health effects and whether legalization would increase marijuana use by children. Some studies state that while there is no proof for the gateway hypothesis, young cannabis users should still be considered as a risk group for intervention programs. Other findings indicate that hard drug users are likely to be polydrug users, and that interventions must address the use of multiple drugs instead of a single hard drug. Almost 2/3 of the polydrug users in 2009 to 2010 Scottish Crime and Justice Survey used cannabis. The gateway effect may appear due to social factors involved in using any illegal drug. Cutie VTuber, stop. You've been pooped on. It's okay, third, it happens. You've been initiated, that's what that means. Let's see. I need to follow along with my mouse so I don't lose track. Oh, because of the illegal status of cannabis, its consumers are likely to find themselves... Oh, also hi, Frey. I'm sorry, I don't think I said hi to you. I meant to, and then I got distracted. I just wanted to say hi. The consumers are likely to find themselves in situations allowing them to acquaint with individuals using or selling other illegal drugs. Studies have shown that alcohol and tobacco may additionally be regarded as gateway drugs. However, a more parsimonious explanation, that's a fancy word, parsimonious, on Discord? Alright. Let's see. Could be that cannabis is simply more readily available and at an earlier age than illegal hard drugs. In turn, alcohol and tobacco are typically easier to obtain at an earlier age than is cannabis, although the reverse may be true in some areas, thus leading to the gateway sequence in those individuals, since they are most likely to experiment with any drug offered. A related alternative to the gateway hypothesis is the common liability to addiction (CLA) theory. It states that some individuals are, for various reasons, willing to try multiple recreational substances. The gateway drugs are merely those that are usually available at an earlier age than the harder drugs. Researchers have noted in an extensive review that it is dangerous to present the sequence of events described in gateway theory in causative terms, as this hinders both research and intervention. I'll probably check it out after this desu. In 2020, the National Institute on Drug Abuse released a study backing allegations that marijuana is a gateway to harder drugs, though not for the majority of marijuana users. The National Institute on Drug Abuse determined that marijuana use is likely to precede the use of other licit and illicit substances, and that all adults who reported marijuana use during the first wave of the survey were more likely than adults who did not use marijuana to develop an alcohol use disorder within 3 years. People who used marijuana and already had an alcohol use disorder at the outset were at greater risk of their alcohol use disorder worsening. Marijuana use is also linked to other substance use disorders, including nicotine addiction. It is also reported that these findings are consistent with the idea of marijuana as a gateway drug. However, the majority of people who use marijuana do not go on to use other harder substances. Also, cross-sensitization is not unique to marijuana. Alcohol and nicotine also prime the brain for a heightened response to other drugs and are, like marijuana, typically used before a person progresses to other more harmful substances. Alright. Let's see. Do you mind if I take a quick break? I just have to use the bathroom. I'll be really quick. Hello. Grab some munchies. I'm not gonna eat on stream. That's the wrong kind of ASMR. I can't imagine that being relaxing. Alright. Desu, I got the thing you sent me pulled up. I should hydrate. Dude, can I tell you something? That might be TMI. I got up to use the bathroom, and I didn't realize I wasn't wearing pants. I've only streamed without pants like one other time, which I feel like is weird, cause like technically I don't ever need pants, but like I didn't know. I don't remember taking my pants off at any point. It was weird because there's like no one else in the room, but I stood up and just felt like suddenly embarrassed. Like, damn, it's a little chilly in here than I thought. It's okay, Gura does it too. Does she really? Fantastic. Pantsless is just the best state to be in, honestly. Let me hydrate. I hope everyone here is having a really lovely time. A lovely day. And I appreciate you being here. Velho does too. He made a little squeak at me. He must be relaxed. Maybe he likes ASMR. Alright. Let's see. This is Fly Away Cannabis by Captain Cruz. He smoked 2 bowls of weed, apparently. And his body weight's 153 pounds. I don't know. I guess that's just listed so you know how hard it hit. I've been smoking marijuana for about 5 months now. I smoked weed about 3 to 4 times a day, every day. In the morning, wake and bake, After getting home from school, sometimes before going into massage class and or work, and before bed while playing some video games. I decided to quit for 2 weeks and then smoke some hydro so as to get baked, stoned, blazed, blitzed, and or kerplunked. I began to feel like the meaning behind smoking the herb had been lost. I was just smoking to smoke. Alas, I, being a stoner, said fuck it and decided to smoke after waiting 1 week exactly. I smoked 2 small ground up bowls of hydro. What's hydro? I'm not familiar. Which my father had so graciously given me through an ice cold bong. Oh, that's the best, the frosty bong. The trip. I was standing by my open patio door for the first half of the first bowl I smoked. Halfway through the first bowl, it put me on my ass. I just felt so amazing that I needed to chill out, so I sat down in a comfy chair. My pal and I began playing video games. Afterward, during the beginning of the second bowl, the trip started to come on. Oh, hydroponic. Okay. That's good shit. That's a really effective way of growing it too. I forgot about that. I inhaled the smoke deep within my lungs and slowly shut my eyes. The images behind my eyes were too complex to describe while I was holding my breath in this so-called blindness. But this is normal. What I mean by so-called blindness is that even without my eyeballs, I still would have been able to see everything I'm about to describe. I was surprised when the effects started getting a bit more intriguing. I never actually tripped on marijuana before, aside from seeing and feeling a warm red aura the very first time I smoked. Ever done the Hydra ride at Epcot? I haven't been to Epcot since I was a very small child, so I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not even sure if it was there, if it's a newer ride. Do they make flavored weed? Kind of, yeah, actually. I mean, it's not like flavored in the sense that like an ice cream necessarily, but you can breed cannabis for certain qualities and traits. Like some weed can have a citrus taste to it, and that's probably the most refreshing. Some weed tastes a little bit like cake, like wedding cake actually kind of has a slightly vanilla flavor. So there are definitely many strains of weed that are bred for specific tastes. Archipelago is also right. Hi Arky! Or should I just call you Ark? How are you doing? Welcome. Happy 420. Alright. I didn't leave. Where did I leave off? Oh, okay. So he just started tripping. He's at the beginning of the second bowl. A slow vibration began to pulse throughout my body. It originated from my scalp and slowly moved down all the way to the soles of my feet. I could feel it most prominently in my torso, around my heart and stomach. The pulse had its own audible frequency, kind of like a whum whum whum. I felt as if I was radiating with energy, and later was able to see the vibrant energy. I felt my head open up and expand, becoming part of my surroundings. Alex Gray's Transfigurations depicts what I saw and felt almost perfectly. Just finished my Gacha dailies while Dude, I've been wanting to play Genshin for such a long time. You just made me think of that. And I'm so behind. I haven't played it all in forever. I hope you're feeling good, my dude. Let's see. The same feeling followed until my whole body felt connected and one with everything. It is the same omnipresent feeling that I will mention multiple times, but this is how it began. Gonna drink some water real quick. Are most of you high? I'm actually not. I'm not as crispy as I'd like to be. Pardon me. I should have taken a smug break. Just posted in Discord. Hydro being fed off a fish farm. Oh, that sounds like a pretty complex system. You can do hydro in just a little bucket for just like one plant. It's fun stuff. Let's see. The sound of the highway outside and the sound of my frequency, as I will call it, are the only things I could hear. I'm very thankful I was with my only buddy, Davin, who is silent, allowing me to enjoy my trip. The sound of the highway beckoned me, oh god, and I realized that it was the forge that pulled me out of my house and got me started on my journey to the final destination of outer space. As I exhale, I start to visualize myself and to have complete awareness of my surroundings. The socks on my feet, the boxers and pants on my legs, the shirt on my torso, the glasses on my face, the bong in my left hand, the computer chair I'm sitting on, the arm of the chair in my right hand, the ground beneath my feet, the couch with my best friend sitting on it, and in front of me, the computer desk and my computer to the left, 3 chairs, lamp, and my conga drums to the right. The ceiling fan above me, blowing cool air upon the surface of my body. And where it starts to get fun is the open sliding glass door with my patio outside directly behind my physical body. Arrow gardens are really cool for some kitchen greens. I have one. I have I think it has 12 pods on it. I haven't used it in a while. I should dig it up. I think I need a new pump for it though. From here, I visualize myself not only from a third person point of view, able to see my entire body and the aura of energy I described, but also omnipresent. I see through the eyes of everywhere. I can view these different perspectives individually, but at the same time, they're all viewed simultaneously. That's the most difficult thing for me to describe, but my favorite place to be was the eyes of myself and my own body. I felt all of the senses so much more vividly when looking through my own eyes. When I was elsewhere, I still felt everything, but not nearly as intensely as when in my own body. I'm glad it was this way because it made me feel as if I was at home in my body, like everything was right. I can remember the feeling of the wind while I was hovering, floating, ascending, descending, and generally flying through the air in this body of mine, whether it be at a fast or slow velocity. I've always wished I could fly more than anything. I feel overwhelmed with happiness now that I've finally experienced what it would be like. My grandmother read an unedited version of this and brought up a good question. She asked me if I was in control while tripping. When I thought about it, I realized I would never again be more in control than during that trip. I had a godlike presence, and the only thing I had to do to come back to reality was open my eyelids. Not that I had any desire to. Reminds me of a song called Behind Closed Eyelids by Spangle. Eventually, when I got past all the surrounding outside area of my apartment, I got to an aerial view of my apartment complex, the highway that I've always related to the sound of the ocean, the roads, the buildings, the trees and the land. The animals, the people, the rest of San Antonio, all of Texas, and the rest of the United States of America. Yeah, he really is. This continues further to all of the other countries of the world and all of the wonderful landscapes that flash through my mind. It expands to an earthly presence, as best I can describe. A feeling of oneness was present throughout the whole trip. At this point, I decided to have another talk. With my eyelids still shut, I lit the bowl and hit the bong. I started to think of getting high, and I began to fly skyward with my apartment at the center of my downward aerial view. Keep in mind that there is always an ubiquitous feeling, as well as the third-person view of my body. I could switch to any perspective at any time. I flew straight up, higher and higher, until I discovered that I could break through the atmosphere of the Earth and into the great beyond that is space, at which I said aloud, I can break through the atmosphere. This whole time, I've been experiencing this bewilderment. I've been describing it to my friend who was sitting on the couch. I don't think I would have been able to remember everything in such detail if I hadn't been. We had just got done playing some Super Smash Bros. Brawl on the Wii, as I recall. I even explained to him that I was there with him, as well as up in space. I said, I'm not flying anywhere. I'm just hovering, looking at the Earth. It's just so beautiful. And at the same time, I'm with you down here. The Earth was stunning, to a literal point. This is why I wasn't exploring further into space. The azure seas, the verdant lands, the cotton swirls of clouds, and the peculiar gold aura enveloping it all. At this point, my mind began to wander elsewhere into the great filled abyss that is my brain. I eventually come to realize that Alvin was sitting next to me, silent in the presence of me tripping. Regardless of whether I were tripping alone or Davin and I were tripping in unison, I decided I was his host and needed to keep him company. Need that reiterate this man on weed? Yes, he smoked weed. He had taken a week-long tolerance break and then smoked 2 bowls. It could be intense. Usually I don't get anything crazy like this though, unless I take like edibles maybe. Yeah, but as you said. Space was incredibly peaceful, and with my ability to fly and be omnipresent, I was reluctant to come down back to reality, but I began to withdraw. Everything, and I do mean everything, started flowing, as best I can describe, simultaneously back into my head. You can take this huge universe and put it inside a very tiny head and fold it. Spongle around the world in a tea days. Alright, as the universe retreated into my mind, I also began to descend from space down to Earth. I embraced the sensation that I can best fit to a worldly description of ocean waves rushing against my whole body. Or maybe a strong, yet gentle and warm wind. That's the best worldly thing I can compare it to. But it really felt like a magnificent energy was pushing as well as pulling my body downward. The push-pull sensation was only on the front of my body, but it felt as if it originated from within. It was especially on my thighs, pelvis, and torso. I wasn't being forced by anything, such as the restrictive and sometimes oppressive force of gravity, which made me feel in complete control, unlike when you're falling. Once back down on Earth, With the universe back in a more normal state, I opened my eyes and said, well, you can't trip forever. And Davin responded saying, yeah man, you can get lost in your head. From now on, I'll be smoking once a week. I wish whoever reads this enjoys it, because after all, who says wishes can't come true? Mine did. And this was from 2009. Or no, published 2016? Oh, it's published 2016, but experienced 2009. I hope those weren't reproductive puns. Do you have any more, Desu? Little man is getting sleepy. Sweet baby. Hello, little man. Hello, little man. You're so quiet. Sweet baby. He's biting me. Alright. Oh, I didn't even look at the picture. Oh my god. Look at this man. Wait. It's all stretched out. Hang on. God damn it. Where's the source? I have too many sources in my sources. Fuck. Hi, Marie-Rien. Can I call you Marie? Is that acceptable? Hello? I just saw your message. I'm sorry if I did not respond fast enough. How are you? It's the weed man. What is happening? I was just reading. I've been reading about weed because it is 420. I'm glad to be noticed. Yeah, I mean, I try to respond to everyone. I may occasionally miss a message once in a while, but I like to think, oh, sorry. I was just looking at the weed man. I find him very funny. Man smoked too much weed, his mouth just fell off his face. This is so sad. It like points to where the mouth should be too. It's so dry, it just got crispy and like fell off. Transcending time and space. Yeah, that was fun. Man definitely had a good time. That's good stuff. I don't know if I've experienced anything like that. Thank you for the hydrate, Archipelago. What? Sorry. You got anything for me, Desu? Thank you for the follow, Marty. Thank you. I hope you have a nice time here. Pardon me. Now is not the time for hiccups, please. Oh god. Someone on Discord? Okay, hang on. I have to open and close it really fast so I don't get a lot of fucking notification sounds. And then close that. And quick this card. Okay. It is kind of rare. Alright. Surfing on the infinite, ever-living ocean. This sounds even crazier than the last one. Let's see, 5 to 6 hits. It's not that much. I guess it depends on what he was smoking from. Pew pew. Hang on, let me give my little man a snack. The experience I'm about to describe was so powerful and profound. I'm not entirely certain that it can solely be attributed to the consumption of marijuana. But I had no other intoxicants in my system, and I had not consumed any other intoxicants for a long time previous to this experience, with the exception of some minor social alcohol consumption. I was very familiar with the effects of marijuana before I had the experience I will be describing here. For some reason, it was unlike any experience I've ever had before or since while smoking marijuana. For that reason, and because of how profound it was, this experience, to my mind anyhow, approaches the paranormal. I was in my late 20s and had arrived in Hawaii for my brother's wedding. I was at a good place in my life mentally, even before the wedding, and now I was in Hawaii. I was very happy to be with family, and everyone else was happy, so positive vibes all around. My soon-to-be brother-in-law takes my cousin and I to a local beach near his house, which had the advantage of being less populated and very few tourists. Not sure set and setting could get much better than this. My cousin pulls a joint out of her purse and I pass it around and smoke it. I hadn't smoked for some time, which makes the effects come on much stronger, and my cousin usually gets high-quality marijuana, so the effects were pretty powerful. I realized quickly I'm too high to function or be sociable, but this is no problem because we are at the beach. So I just lay back and close my eyes, and I'm planning on taking a fake nap, basically just chill with my eyes open until I stop peeking so hard and can actually participate in conversation and socializing again. Probably less rare than I think third, honestly. Kiwi Pie, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Happy 420. Hope you can have a cozy time here. So I'm just laying there with my eyes closed, not a care in the world, and I'm really enjoying how relaxing the sound of the ocean is. I start to notice some strange things I've never noticed before. Each time I hear the waves crash, I feel the sand beneath me shift, just ever so slightly, as if I can actually feel the vibrational impact of the waves on the sand. I think at this point I may have started to experience synesthesia, because the sound of the ocean crashing I begin to perceive as motion in the sand beneath me, as if the ocean is rocking me back and forth like a baby in a cradle or something. In my mind, I'm sort of questioning if this is even possible and just kind of think, wow, I must be really stoned. After this, the synesthesia just intensifies more and more until I am pitched into a profound, mystical experience. I start hearing a low buzzing sound, sort of like a didgeridoo, but I know it's in my mind. Or in other words, it's not the type of sound that I think is external that anyone else can hear. The buzzing sound builds up intensity, and then recedes, and then builds up in intensity, and then recedes, over and over again in a cycle. I'm feeling the heat from the sun, and the heat gathers in intensity, then recedes, followed by a cool breeze, and this pattern is also repeating in a cycle that matches the buzzing sound I'm hearing, the sound of the ocean waves crashing, the movement of the sand beneath me. It all syncs up in a wave pattern that builds up in intensity and recedes over and over again. At this point, I start to have the perception that the buzzing sound is coming from the sun, and that I'm getting the same feeling from the sun that you get when somebody enters a room and you can feel their presence before you turn around and see them. I start feeling that the sun has a presence in my awareness, that it is alive, that the ocean is alive, the beach is alive. And this buzzing sound builds up, and I have the strongest feeling that I am not alive in a world of dead matter. Rather, everything is alive, and I am just like a surfer on a surfboard riding this wave that is alive. Given the setting, I know this analogy is very cliche, but in my opinion, it is very accurate. All of this perception was nonverbal. It was a feeling, a perception. All of my fear of death absolutely evaporated in an instant. The universe is alive. My life is part of this larger, infinite structure that is alive. And the death of my body cannot stop this infinitely unfolding, living universe. Again, in my mind, this was all nonverbal, and it permanently abolished my fear of death. Retrospective. This experience was almost 2 decades ago, but the effects seem to have been permanent. Something in my awareness or state of mind shifted that day, and shifted permanently. To this day, this is one of the most profound things I ever experienced. And I'd smoked marijuana many times before that experience, and many times after, but I've never experienced anything like that before or since when smoking marijuana. To this day, I do not feel entirely certain this experience can be entirely attributed to marijuana, and sometimes entertain the notion that I experienced something paranormal or had experienced a religious rapture or something. This is my best attempt at putting this experience into words. Thank you for reading. Okay, Mari, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out with me. Listening to this in my car with surround sound is insane. I can't imagine. That sounds too intense. Would you guys like one more? I can't even listen to ASMR with headphones. Something about having a voice like that close to my ear. Instead of relaxing, it just it's kind of frightening, I guess. I don't know why. I can enjoy it sometimes, but I have to be really fucking baked. Basically. So I've only gotten to enjoy ASMR like maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. Maybe more than that, but it's usually not my thing. Do you have anything else for me, Desu? I've liked these a lot so far. I'm just kind of scared to like browse on my own. Oh, I see you sent one. Thank you. One moment. Let's see. I sent one more. I don't know if it'll be as good as the last one. No worries. I see you're playing Adobe Premiere Pro too. I hope you're having fun with that. Do you guys think I should do this more often? If I ever end up getting that ASMR microphone. I want to do stuff like this, but I also want to do like a nature ASMR, like legit going out into like storms and recording audio, cause supposedly the microphone can like, it's like a full room experience, which sounds really cool. That's wonderful. I'm so happy. I was super nervous to do this. I used to actually do reading streams a lot, back when I had a different channel, but it's a bit more cozy with you guys, and like I said, I appreciate you being here and relaxing with me. I hope you all have lots of nice snacks and stuff. Sure. Of course. Alright. THC as a psychedelic. A lot of people don't know that you can have psychedelic experiences with cannabis. It's not everyone can experience it because everyone's body processes it differently. But it is very much possible. It just there's a lot of factors involved. Alright. Let me drink some water real quick. Also, I apologize if Velho pew pew. If Velho is too loud. He's a bit excited. Oh, his beak is so warm. Alright. Oh, I didn't realize I made this gigantic. I'm gonna shrink it back down. What did I move? Let's see. Sorry, this is fucking scuffed. Shrink. Pew pew. Little man's calling me out of my treats. Alright. I'm a 22-year-old male, weighing about 215 pounds. Sorry. This experience happened after about 6 months of casual marijuana use. I found that I seemed to be a lightweight as regards marijuana and alcohol as well. On the night in question, in order to escape from some stressful thoughts I was having, I decided to get a little messed up. The background: I'm a late bloomer as far as substance use. I've consumed the legal psychoactive caffeine since childhood. I began smoking nicotine, cigars and pipes, never cigarettes, at age 19. I drank my first alcohol at age 21, and later that same year had my first experience with cannabis. As part of my ongoing exploration of substances, I have decided to try LSD, although I have not yet done so. However, the reader should be aware that I was researching it heavily at the time of the experience, and so my mind was filled with info on LSD trips and psychedelics in general going into this experience. I was surprised in reading psychedelic literature, particularly that of the 50s, to find that cannabis was considered among the psychedelics. I've never thought of weed as a hallucinogen, and certainly among the casual stoners in my social circle, none have discussed marijuana as being in any way trippy. Since having the experience detailed here, I no longer question the inclusion of cannabis among the psychedelics. Said, my overall mindset was somewhat tumultuous. I was in the midst of a painful breakup, however, my mindset toward the drug itself was positive. Setting, when I dozed, I was sitting on my back porch and watching a movie on my laptop. Little man, he has his hand up. I'm sorry, I have my bird with me. He's making little noises. I remember I was intentionally getting slightly messed up this night to put the brakes on some destructive thought patterns. Prior to dosing on the cannabis, I consumed a Red Bull, about 76 milligrams of caffeine, smoked a heavy San Cristobal Maduro cigar containing probably 200 milligrams of nicotine. I absorbed a large portion of this because I was retrohaling and drank a large snifter of brandy, about 90 milliliters of alcohol. I took about 6 large hits of cannabis. This is far more than I've ever smoked, my previous max being 3 to 4 hits. The hits were likely larger than usual as well, because I was smoking from a tobacco pipe, which has a larger hole and a larger bowl than a weed pipe, I think. An unfortunate incident occurred right after I took my last hit. My roommate / landlord came out on the deck and asked what I was doing. I rent a bedroom from a family, so I share houses with 2 adults and a toddler. I had not asked if it was okay to smoke weed. This was my first time smoking weed at the house. And only when C saw me smoking did it even occur to me that I might have transgressed the boundary of the household. Although C did not recriminate me and did not get mad, I became inwardly panicked and felt guilty. However, I was quickly becoming so stoned that this was no longer relevant. C went back inside, and I watched the movie. As I watched the movie, I became aware that I was getting too stoned to move. I decided that if I didn't move inside and go to my room, I would soon be too stoned to do anything, and would end up freezing on the porch all night. Weed has a tendency to make me shiver and feel cold. So I moved my computer and speakers inside. This task seemed to take forever, and mumbled a word of apology to C, who was in the kitchen, and set off downstairs towards my bedroom. This is when the trippy aspects of this weed high began to hit me. When the idea crossed my mind to go downstairs to my room, I had the distorted perception that my room was a very faraway place, and that it didn't exist in my present reality. Reaching it seemed like a laughable impossibility. This struck me as very odd, and the thought passed through my brain, I'm tripping. My feet went on autopilot and I floated down to my room. I was experiencing visual and spatial effects. For instance, a sort of tunnel vision as well as a reduced frame rate that made my perception seem like a slideshow. It took all of my concentration to get undressed, put a CD in my stereo, of all things, Haydn's Stabat Mater, turned off the lights and crawled into bed. Then things got way trippy. According to the Wikipedia article for psychedelic experience, what I experienced over the next 2.5 hours was representative of a level 2 or level 3 psychedelic experience. I did not have open eye visuals, except for a warping curvature when looking at objects that were immediately in front of my face. But I did experience 3-dimensional closed eye, mind's eye visuals. I experienced a mixing of the senses, with the musical I was hearing often manifesting in visual form, extreme time dilation, and continuous perception of eternity. Body movement was difficult and disorienting because minute muscle motions caused intense euphoria to sweep over my body. The closest comparison I can make is to an orgasm. For this reason, I spent a large portion of the trip simply laying in bed, undulating my limbs. Damn, you ever get too fucking high and just start undulating? The most striking aspect to me at the time was the extremely vivid, ongoing mind's eye, closed eye hallucinations. I pictured all kinds of scenarios and apparitions, most of them cartoonish and inscrutable. The most nagging one was a continuous morphing object which always moved from left to right across my visual field, usually against the background of stars. It was a cartoonish object, which I felt sure represented a motif from my childhood, probably a show I used to watch. However, I felt that it never took its true form, and instead was morphing through the related reminiscent shapes. A tennis shoe, a shark, a rollerblade, a car, a space shuttle, lightning bolt, an electric guitar, a pizza slice. I had the very uncomfortable feeling that none of these were really what the object was. The cartoonish visions sometimes became very present in 3D. One recurring 3D image sensation was an enormous fungal Venus flytrap, which filled the space around me and closed around my body. At one point, I began... Whoa. This is... Desi, did you actually read this? I'll just skip that. My bedside lamp is an LCD lamp, which means that after it is switched off, it gives a dull afterglow for several minutes. The lamplight was far too bright to have on, but I found if I closed my eyes, then switched the light on and off, the glow is enough to see by. There is also a glow from the face of my digital alarm clock. This allowed me to do basic tasks in the dark, such as drinking water from a glass on my nightstand. Mostly though, I just held my hands up in the light and noticed that they appeared warped. They elongated and curved. Also, by holding them in certain configurations, I could convince myself they were faces or other objects. My mental state became very present-oriented and I lost track of time in a big way. The situations and issues of my life became totally forgotten. In fact, I couldn't really remember who anyone that I knew was. The only people I could really bring to mind in that semi-delirious state were my roommate's infant son and my mother, both of whom seemed to be saintly beings of total goodness. Even my girlfriend, who had been the cause of my terrible mood earlier in the night, didn't seem real or memorable at all. I had a persisting sensation of ego loss or partial ego death, disconnecting from my life and from my identity, although this was not accompanied by any sensations of cosmic oneness, as I have read about in LSD or psilocybin trips. Throughout this experience, I kept thinking three main recurring thoughts. Holy shit, I only smoked weed. Wow, I'm fucking tripping, and wow, this is lasting forever. When will it stop? I become present-oriented around Christmas. Wow, okay. I often feared that I was forgetting to breathe. Dude, I've had that happen to me before. I would feel a heavy sensation on my face and realize I had not breathed for some time, so I'd take a big breath. Vivid and detailed 3D visuals accompanied my breathing. At one point, I envisioned the inside of my lungs as being a large hollow area like the inside of a ship, with my lungs, ribs, etc. made out of wood and run by intricate clockwork. I could perceive this whole cavern expanding and contracting in 3 dimensions. At this point, I began to come down from the height of the high, sorry. I realized I'd plugged my clock in when I came into the room. When it is unplugged, it resets to midnight, so the time showing on the face was the precise time since I'd laid down. About 2 hours. It felt like 5 or 6 hours. I found I was still very stoned, but I tried to turn on the TV to get back to reality. I saw my friend A had texted me, so I texted him back, and he came back and picked me up. I was still very high, and As I got dressed and I walked out to his car, I was still experiencing the tunnel vision and slow frame rate I experienced earlier in the evening. I still experienced occasional vivid mind's eye visuals and had some stereotypical high experiences, such as eating a fuck ton of donuts and being overwhelmed by the number of batteries on the grocery store's display rack. I feel that. By the time I got back to my house, I was down off my high, although symptoms of dissociation from my life and general disorientation persisted through the next day. The whole experience was far beyond what I believed was possible with weed. Remembering, of course, that it was supplemented by significant doses of caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. And it made me excited to someday use LSD and experience a real trip. That was published 2013. My friends, I think it is time. My voice is actually getting a little bit worn out. Donuts, yes. Today's a very good day for donuts. What's your favorite donut? Mine's the raspberry filled ones. Little man, do you want to come here? Everyone knows that you're here, little man. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come say hello to everyone. They all know you're here. Come on. Come on. He's so shy. Lemon filled? I don't even remember what lemon filled donuts taste like. Like, it's been so long since I had one. Oh. Little man doesn't want to leave his spot on the mic. He's too cozy. Precious baby. Let's see. Oh yeah. I feel like Mamechi's stream might be kind of intense. Not in a bad way, just like compared to this. But what about some 3D modeling? That might be nice. Right? Wait, what was it? Okay, I forgot their username. First three names Desu mentioned were donuts. Those would be really interesting donut names. What a Len Mamechi donut taste like? Cheese, I guess? Alright. Red media. There we go. Did I get it? I did. Okay. Alright. I don't usually do ASMR stuff, so if you are new here and you would like to hear more, please feel free to join the Discord. Let me know. Anyone here, let me know if you want more of this sort of stuff, I guess. I want to get better at it. And one day I may have professional mic, and I have a lot of ideas for that day. But anyways, I hope you all have a beautiful 420. Get some snackies, even if you aren't able to celebrate with the jazz cabbage, you know. Have some good snackies for me. Do some sort of self-care ritual, stay hydrated, and I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. And I will see you, let's see, today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. I'll see you on Friday then, for Fallout Friday. Alright, you'll have a lovely day, okay? Bye bye.